Welcome to Cindy's Library. I am Cindy, and as you can probably notice, I'm filming from a different spot today, and that is because we are starting my bookshelf tour. And so we'll just do one bookshelf at a time, and we are going to start with this little beauty right here. Now for this one, I have put most of my Penguin and Oxford World classics, and I have art books. And yes, I double stacked all of my Penguin and Oxford books. So let us see what I have here, starting at the top. So we start out with my Charlotte Bronte, Jane Eyre, Shirley, and Villette. Then we go on to my Elizabeth Gaskell, where we have North and South, Cousin Phyllis and Other Stories, Mary Barton, Wives and Daughters, and Ruth. Next we have some George Eliot. So, Romola, selected essays, poems, and other writings. Felix Holt, The Radical, Scenes of Clerical Life, Middlemarch, Adam Bede, Mill on the Floss, and Daniel Deronda. Next, we start getting into some poetry. John Donne, works of the Gwain poet, Aurora Leigh, have Gerard Manley Hopkins, Christina Rossetti. And then we have some odder ones. The Education of Henry Adams, New Grub Street, and Hester. And some other odd ones, Lorna Doone, Lady Audley's Secret, The Moonstone, and The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. Next, we have my Trollope collection. The Warden, Barchester Towers, Dr. Thorne, Framley Parsonage, The Small House at Allington, Last Chronicle of Barset, The Way We Live Now, Can You Forgive Her, Phineas Finn, The Eustace Diamonds, Phineas Redux, The Prime Minister, The Duke's Children, Dr. Wortle School, He Knew He Was Right, Lady Anna, Rachel Ray, Orley Farm, The American Senator, Cousin Henry, and The Autobiography, The Vicar of Bullhampton, The Claverings, and Three Clerks. And then just top off this first shelf, we have The Heir of Redcliffe, which is by Charlotte Mary Young. Greatly enjoyed that this past year. Next, we have some E.M. Forster. I don't have A Room with a View because I'm in the middle of reading that. I have Passage to India, Howard's End, and aspects of the novel. Next we get to Virginia Woolf. I have Night and Day, To the Lighthouse, and selected essays. We have The Count of Monte Cristo, The Letters of John and Abigail Adams, The Ambassadors, The Europeans and the Americans, all by Henry James. Have Excellent Women. Have The Heart of Midlothian by Walter Scott. Then I have Consolation of Philosophy, Reflections of Divine Love, Mencius, Buddhist Scriptures, the Analects, the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita, and St. Augustine's Confessions, on the Dhammapada. So those are more world religions. Oh, and the Tao Te Ching, and the Canterbury Tales, Milton, Piers Plowman. I've got the Complete Divine Comedy, Dorothy Sayers edition. Dorothy Wordsworth, the Grasmere Foxton Journals. I have William Wordsworth, Selected Poems and Prelude. Evelina by Frances Burney, and The Mysteries of Udolpho by Anne Radcliffe. Next we get into my Russian section. Anna Karenina and War and Peace. The Death of Ivan Ilyich and Other Stories. Childhood, Boyhood, and Youth, and Sebastopol Sketches. These are all by Tolstoy. Fathers and Son by Turgenev. And start on Dostoevsky. The Idiot, The Village of Stepan Chekhov, The Gambler and Other Stories, Demons, The Brothers Karamazov, Crime and Punishment, and Notes from the Underground and the Double. Next we have The Odyssey by Homer, Don Quixote by Cervantes. And next we have Charles Dickens, Great Expectations, The Pickwick Papers, The Mystery of Edwin Drood, Hard Times, Dombey and Sons, Martin Chuzzlewit, Little Dorrit, Our Mutual Friend, David Copperfield, and Bleak House. Those aren't all my classics, but they are the great majority. Oh, I also have The Fairy Queen, I have Boswell's Life of Johnson, and I have Lexis de Tocqueville also in those editions, and they'll probably end up here when I'm done with them. So there is that. Now, as for my bottom shelf, which is all the art books, first off, I have a children's edition of Whisper of the Heart. And yes, it is in Japanese, but it has pictures, which makes me happy because this is one of my favorite Studio Ghibli films. I have The Art of Spirited Away and The Art of Howl's Moving Castle. And I have the complete illustrated Harry Potter, at least as far as it's been done. So that's volumes 1 through 5, and we'll have to see what happens next. I have A Journey Through History of Magic and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And we start getting into Tolkien. Have The Atlas of Middle-earth, Myth and Magic. This is John Howe. Realms of Tolkien, Images from Middle-earth, and I think this one is, yeah, it's multiple authors, so that one's nice in that way. Same with this one, Tolkien's World, Paintings of Middle-earth, Lord of the Rings Sketchbook by Alan Lee, Sketches from A Middle-earth Traveler, Sketches from Bag End to Mordor by John Howe. J.R.R. Tolkien, Artist and Illustrator by Hammond and School. Well, edited by Hammond and School. Art of the Lord of the Rings, edited by Hammond and School. This is Tolkien's actual illustrations. And The Art of the Hobbit. And I have The World of J.R.R. Tolkien by Jean Garth. And Tolkien, Maker of Middle-earth. and Letters by Father Christmas, also by Tolkien. Have the annotated Christmas Carol, which I'm excited to read this next Christmas. And then I have Pride and Prejudice, Persuasion, and Little Women in the edition that has the actual letters in pockets with different handwriting for everyone. So, very excited about these. I have the annotated Little Women, and the annotated Anne of Green Gables, Earth and Water. This is art by Melissa Gray, or Melissa Gay. And now we get into religious art. I have Wherever He Leads Me by art by Greg Olson. I have Joseph Smith. This artwork is by Liz Lemon Swindle. And I have Son of Man, also Liz Lemon Swindle. Text on both of those by Susan Eaton Black. Little illustrated book of Nauvoo, which I went to last summer. And I have The Master's Hands, the art of Karl Heinrich Bloch. And then I have 3 art books by Young Sung Kim. What can I say? He draws the absolutely most blissful sheep you have ever seen. Trust me on that one. So that is my first bookshelf. So I think we will stop there for this time. But thank you for joining me. I'd love to hear if you've read any of these books on my list. I've read a fair amount, but certainly by no means all here. I'm slowly working through everything and have great hopes for this year that way. Thank you so much for stopping by. I truly do appreciate it. So until next time, I hope we all stay safe and healthy. And as always, happy reading!